There are three main love themes in How to Train Your Dragon, one for each movie. First, of course, is Hiccup and Astrid's love theme. The third movie has a theme for Toothless and the Light Fury. And the middle one has a different kind of love theme for Hiccup's parents. One that's more of a folk song.
Oh, I love this one.
Now this is a very different kind of musical sequence from what most of the series has to offer. I prefer the ones with little or no dialogue where the music comes in and speaks for them. But there are still some really interesting things about this song, especially after this scene. And despite being in only one movie out of the trilogy, it really has a roller coaster of development. It also has one or two darker elements than the other themes, but I'll get to that later in the video. First of all, it's introduced diegetically. The music exists in the world of the characters, and they even sing it themselves. The initial idea was to make music a part of their culture, and to use it as a tool to reunite them after so long. It's meant to be their song.
Remember our song, pal.
And it's kind of a betrothal song that everyone would know.
Well, stop me on my journey. Sorry.
Like most themes in this series, it's written in the Scottish and Celtic idiom, so it actually sounds like it's part of their unique culture. Also, this is the only theme co-written by John Powell. The lyrics were written by Shane MacGowan, a singer popular in Ireland, and the other co-writer is Jónsi, the frontman for the Icelandic band Sigur Rós, which I only just realized has a silent G. So the reason Jónsi is here is he's friends with the director, and they've worked together a few times. Jónsi was asked to write a song for each movie. They usually just play in the credits of the movie, but he also did Where No One Goes, which is featured in a whole scene. Actually, more than one scene. And on a quick side note, he also provided the ethereal voices for when Hiccup and Astrid discover the hidden world. So like I said earlier, the song is used to reconnect Stoic and Valka and to bring her back to Berk's culture, after living with dragons for so long. And throughout the scene, they maintain a lot of reaction shots on Hiccup, because this is something he's never been able to see before. He's never seen his parents together before, and he's definitely never seen his father like this. The song starts as just the whistling, and then the singing, and as she warms up to it, more instruments come in and the tempo speeds up. And it really turns into a jig by the end of it.
I'll swim and sail our savvy seas, but never fear of drowning. Glad to ride the waves of life if you will marry me.
I'm still going. I'm done.
Right after this is a battle scene. The music in the battle scenes always acts as a medley. The battles always reprise most of the themes up to that point, sometimes even back to back. And then, with the music so busy already with old and new themes, something really interesting happens, right when Stoic saves Valka. It's really brief, and everything immediately moves on, but right here, the theme makes the jump into the score, and it stays there for the rest of the movie. So it's not left alone for just one scene. It's extended beyond that, and it's even used as their love theme during the battle. On top of that, and this might be an accident, but the way it finishes here, it kinda turns into the Dies Irae. Anyone who knows what the Dies Irae is knows what that means. but if you don't already know, it's basically a melody adapted from a medieval plain chant about the apocalypse. It means the day of wrath, it's a mass for the dead. And somehow it's ended up in a lot of movies, to the point where it's kind of film music shorthand for death and doom. I've actually found it in the beginning of Spider-Man Homecoming, when Toomes is set up as the villain. I'm definitely not the first person to talk about the Dies Irae in film, so I do have some links in the description for more information. But anyway, for the dancing and the dreaming only has to be stretched so far to turn it into the Dies Irae. It's pretty close already, and I honestly think they didn't plan that. It's actually close enough that I'd say it could be a coincidence from changing it to a minor key, but then again, Powell used it with Harry Gregson Williams on Shrek. So maybe it's an accident, maybe it's a tiny detail. Either way, those are the right notes and it fits perfectly. And it could actually be kind of period correct for this vaguely set medieval Viking era. And it's interesting that it might turn into the Dies Irae at this point in the story, because this is where a major change happens. That major change is Stoic's death, which I've already covered twice in other videos, but it's pretty significant in the story. And because Powell's writing is so story-driven, this one event affects how he uses several themes and instruments from here on. So Stoic is killed, and the tone of the theme reacts appropriately. But there's still more to it than that. It's not in the score just because Powell thought it would be cool to put it in the battle. That actually came much later. It's only in the battle at all, as a bridge to something else Powell had in mind.
Jonsi and I had a play day to try and come up with something for the little scene with Valka and Stoic. So we wrote a little thing for that. And I think you guys said, you know, we're working on the funeral. On the funeral, you know, is there anything you could maybe have a go at that? And this was quite early, so I got to take that theme. I thought I'll take that theme that they'd enjoyed in this moment, and I'll make it his funeral music.
So that was his plan, to score a sad scene with music that was happy 20 minutes earlier, which is actually a pretty effective tool for making either music or a scene sad. And it's definitely done with a variety of other themes in this series. And up until the very end of this scene, all the funeral music is some form of that theme.
I have no use for rings of gold, I care not for your poetry.
Finally, at the end, it plays when Stoic is being remembered, and his dragon is given to a new rider. Hey, thanks for watching, and before you go, this is Film Score and More, and I'm doing more videos like this. They just take a while since I can't work full-time on them. I'm planning one on the main themes of How to Train Your Dragon, what John Powell had in mind when he wrote them, and how they function in the story. I'm also writing a follow-up to what I think is my most interesting video since I now have more updated information. So please like and subscribe for more, let me know your thoughts in the comments, or reach out to me on Twitter and Reddit at FilmScoreMoreYT. or find me on Discord. Thanks again, and until next time.